Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear aspirants. This is the second video of CSS solutions to maths portion of General Science and Ability paper 2021. In this video, solution to question 7 will be presented. Let me start with part A of question 7. Before I start, we need to understand the directions with the campus. If somebody is facing east, then north will be on his left hand side, south will be on his right hand side, and west will be behind him. So we will be needing this campus to solve the question, part A of question 7. The question states that a child went 90 meters towards east. So that's a child going 90 meters towards east, and he took a right turn. When somebody is facing east and he turns to his right, then he will be facing towards south, and he went 20 meters in the direction of the south. Then he took another right turn, and now he's facing west, and from there he went about 30 meters, and then finally he turned north, again took a right turn and went for 100 meters from there. The question requires us to calculate the distance from the starting point to the end point where the child ended walking. So the distance between the starting point and the ending point is, I'm denoting it by the dotted line. If you closely look at this section of the figure of the diagram, this appears to be a triangle. If I name its edges as A, this edge B, this C, then we have triangle ABC. The first thing we need to do is to find the base of this triangle. The base of the triangle, we know that the child at start went 90 meters towards east, and he went again 30 meters in the opposite direction. So the point of intersection here, the length of line BC, is this 90 meters reduced by these 30 meters which he went in the opposite direction. So 90 minus 30 is 60 meters. This is the base of this triangle. Similarly, the perpendicular of the triangle is, we know that he went 100 meters towards north and he walked 20 meters in the opposite direction. So 100 minus 20 is 80 meters. So this is the perpendicular of the triangle. So we know the base of the triangle, we have found out the perpendicular of the triangle. The required distance AB is hypotenuse of the triangle, and by applying the Pythagorean theorem, we know that the perpendicular of a triangle is the square root of its base square and its perpendicular square. So the length of the hypotenuse will be, putting the figures of base and perpendicular in the given formula, 60 square plus 80 square. 60 square is 3600, 80 square is 6400. Adding them together we get 100,000, and the square root of 100,000 is 100 meters. So the hypotenuse was the distance required from the starting point to the end point, which is 100 meters, and this was the required solution. Let us now move to part B of the question. The question says that there are 11 numbers whose average is 63. It means that the sum of the 11 unknown numbers was divided by 11 and the result was 63. So if this is it, what was the sum of the numbers? To get that, I will be multiplying both sides of the equation by 11. I will cancel out 11 on the left hand side of the equation. So the sum of these 11 numbers is 693. And the additional information given in the question that the first 6 numbers average is 60. It means that the first 6 numbers sum was divided by 6 and the result was 60. Repeating the step that we did in first equation, we will eliminate 6 from the left hand side and the result is 360. So the sum of first 6 numbers is 360. And we have been given additional information that the last 6 numbers are, the average of the last 6 numbers are 65. So if the average of last 6 numbers is 65, it means that last 6 numbers were also divided by 6 and the result was 65. Repeating this step to eliminate 6 from the left hand side, we will get the sum of last 6 numbers is equal to 390. So in this way, we have got 3 equations. First one, that sum of 11 numbers is 693, sum of first 6 360, sum of last 6 is 390. But it is worth mentioning here that number 6 or the 6th number is present in both of the second and third equations. It means that the sum of first to 11th plus 6th number one more time is equal to 750. But we know that the sum of 11 numbers is 693 as we have calculated in equation 1. So replacing 693 for sum of 11 numbers, we get that 6th number plus 693 is equal to 750. If we deduct 693 from both sides, we can get that 6th term is equal to 57. So this was the required solution of part B of question 7. Before I start solving question part C of question 7, we need to develop some concepts. We need to understand the coordinates, x-axis, y-axis on a graph, when x is negative, when y is negative. We should be able to locate a point on the graph. We should also be in a position to draw a line on a given line on a graph, or if a line is given on the graph, we should be able to construct its equation. So all of these things I will be covering in a separate video. So if you haven't subscribed my channel till now, I would request you to please click the subscribe button so that you may not miss any important content. So let me now move to part D of the question. The question states that Mr. Raheel invests 60,000 rupees. If I denote the amount of principal invested by P, then P is equal to 60,000. Further, the investment after 5 years was worth 85,000. It means that the future value after 5 years of this present investment had become 85,000 rupees. It means that Mr. Raheel has earned the difference between 85,000 and 60,000 as the amount of interest in 5 years time, of course. So the difference of 85 and 60 is 25,000, which is the amount of interest earned by Mr. Raheel in 5 years time. We are required to calculate the rate of interest. So putting we have this interest calculation formula. interest amount is equal to rate multiplied by the principal amount originally invested. And if the investment was for more than 1 year, then we have to put multiply it by years also to get the total amount of interest. So putting the values in this formula, the interest amount 25,000 we have just calculated, the rate is that something we need to calculate, 60,000 was the amount originally invested, and 5 is the number of years. So rearranging these terms, for rate 25,000 will be divided by 300,000, which is the product of 60,000 and 5. So solving it, dividing 25,000 by 300,000 gives us 8.33%, rounded to 2 digits. So this was the required solution of the question, part D of question 7. So if you still have any query in your mind, you are very welcome to ask me in comment section, please. Thank you very much for watching.